Hey, Claude. Looks like you had another one of those meetings. You finally finished?
For today, yeah. But we're picking up right where we left off tomorrow.
That's a lot of talking. What could possibly call for that much discussion?
Well, first, we need to settle on a direction for the Alliance. And then come all the pesky little details. All responsibilities need to be doled out fairly, but each territory has different resources and different circumstances, you know? So it's tricky to figure out what's really fair. There's no one answer that works across the board.
But you're their leader. Can't you just make a bunch of decisions and get it over with?
No can do, I'm afraid. I may be the leader, but I'm still just one of the 5 Great Lords. Sure, I may be the idea man, but I don't have the authority to enforce anything on my own. On top of all that, most nobles are experts at focusing on what's good for their own territory instead of what would benefit the Alliance as a whole. When priorities clash, the debates just go around and around in endless circles. Makes me wonder if we'll ever reach a consensus on anything.
Hold on. Do you really think you'll win the war like this? You'll always be on the defensive if you can't act decisively.
I hear you, believe me. The process works much better in times of peace, but since we're at war, it's frustrating to say the least. What's worse is that it's near impossible to get a read on the situation. I don't have the foggiest idea how we're going to overcome this. Say, mind if I pick your brain? What would you do in my shoes?
What, me? Well, I guess I'd... just hit him with the old ba-bam, you know? That's the way.
Ba-bam, right. Think you could elaborate on that a little?
What I'm saying is, why not just get rid of all the talking?
You mean get rid of the Alliance's council altogether?
Exactly. If you give yourself more authority, then it won't take as long to make decisions. It doesn't even have to be permanent. You could go back to the old way once things are peaceful again. But I guess that wouldn't go over too well with the other nobles, huh?
Actually, I think you're onto something. Can't say it hasn't crossed my mind before. If folks at the Round Table just keep looking out for their own territory's interests, we'll be in a world of hurt if the Alliance is ever invaded. I just wish they could see that.
Whoa, are you seriously considering it, Claude?
Of course. Unfortunately, the possibility of it actually happening right now is basically zero. But you've given me a lot to chew on. Let's do this again sometime.
Just say the word.
I was wondering who it was. What fortuitous timing.
Did you need me for something?
Nothing in particular. I was simply thinking of having a little chat with you. Please, do relax.
But I already am relaxed.
I've heard your background is quite the mystery, and what's more, that you possess some sort of unknown power. It's certainly a bold decision for Claude to put someone like that in charge of frontline forces.
I don't know if there's anything bold about it.
Oh? It seems you do not understand your unique position, then. Each noble house in Leicester commands its own knights, and those knights in turn enact the will of their lords through the soldiers in their employ. But you are no knight, merely a mercenary who commands soldiers in fealty to nobody at all.
Maybe so, but all my orders come straight from the Alliance leader himself. What's the problem?
There is no problem, per se. You excel at what you do and fight with true valor. However, protecting the people of Leicester has always been the nobility's responsibility, and theirs alone. Some nobles may feel insulted that they have to rely on a simple mercenary of unknown origin.
Seriously? But nobles are usually the ones hiring mercenaries in the first place.
On the other hand, I hear there are more commanders of common birth in the Empire of late. Given our current lack of resources, the Alliance could serve to learn from them and promote more commoners through our ranks. Which means there should be no particular reason for anyone to resent you.
Didn't you just say they might feel insulted? If nobody's getting all hot under the armor about it, then there's no problem, right?
That said, this does not change the fact that a noble's obligation is to protect the common folk. Though your exact origins remain unclear, you undoubtedly fall into the commoner category as it stands. Therefore, you are entitled to all the protection a noble is compelled to provide. Simply say the word if you ever require my assistance.
I think I'll pass. I might be a commoner, but I'm a mercenary before anything else. Fighting is what I live for. You know, at first I thought you were just coming to complain, but you were actually trying to be nice.
Me? Nice? To you? Oh my, you are funny. Allow me to explain. I am the heir to House Gloucester, a noble among nobles. My offer of aid was not an act of kindness. It was a means to inform you of your place in this society. You would do well to remember the order of things here in Fodlan.
So, you just came to tell me how I'm disrupting the order? You are complaining.
Most certainly not! Do you really think me that small-minded? I've acknowledged your skills, and all I ask in return is that you act according to your station. Understand?
Not really, no. I mean, we're at war, and you're seriously telling me I need to worry about how nobles and commoners are supposed to act? In any case, my job as a mercenary is to fight. Simple as that. You're wasting your time if you're gonna get all bent out of shape about me.
I am not Never mind. We shall continue this at a later date.
Oh, hello there. Are you doing some research?
Yeah, I was just looking through records of past battles. Figure I'll probably run into some similar situations.
That's admirable of you. I thought that someone with a mercenary background would be a little more reckless with their fighting. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. That sounded a bit rude, didn't it?
No, you're right. My fighting style was pretty loose when I was a mercenary. Actually, I can't say it's really changed that much. But I've got more responsibility now, so I've had to adjust some. Any mistakes I make would only cause problems for everyone else, right?
Huh. You're much more studious than I thought. I can see why Claude trusts you so much.
You really think I'm held in such high regard?
That's what I've heard, at least. It's very impressive, especially since you're so young.
Thanks, Lysithea. And the same goes for you, too. For a kid, you're amazing at what you do.
Excuse me? Who is a kid?
Huh? Well, you are.
I must ask that you refrain from treating me like a child.
I wasn't trying to...
You said, and I quote, "for a kid." I'm aware that people often treat me like a child, but to think you'd call me one directly to my face! I work harder and contribute more to this army than anyone else here. It is truly vexing that something as inconsequential as my age can dictate how people treat me.
I'm sorry. I had no idea you hated being treated like a kid that much.
This is not a matter of like or dislike. My belief is that those who fight alongside each other should treat one another as equals.
Well, yeah. I thought I was complimenting you as an equal, obviously.
Then there is no need for any qualifying language. You should compliment me as you would anyone else.
Hold on, didn't you tell me I was impressive for being so young? Doesn't that mean you assessed me based on my age too?
Me saying you're impressive in spite of your age is completely different than you saying I'm pretty good for a weak little baby.
Pretty sure I didn't phrase it like that.
But it's what you meant. Oh, I should have never complimented you.
You know, an adult wouldn't get all stubborn and combative like this.
I am not being combative. I'm simply having a normal conversation with you. Is that a problem?
What about this is normal to you?
I should call it a day. You sticking around?
Nah, I should finish up too. Thanks, Shamir. I have to work out new unit formations for our next battle.
You're pretty conscientious for a mercenary. That's rare in our profession. Well, sorry to cut and run. Good luck with all that.
If you're really sorry, you could always give me a hand sometime. It's my responsibility, but that doesn't mean I have to do it alone.
Fair enough. Come find me next time I'm off duty.
Really? Thanks. Dependable as always, Shamir. Honestly, you're so mature for your age. You always seem so composed, almost wise, even when we're just chatting.
I wouldn't say wise. Save that for the higher-ups. I just mind my own business. Plenty of mercenaries do the same.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that.
You know, you're pretty easygoing yourself, even by merc standards. Have you been on your own for long? Didn't you belong to a mercenary group at some point?
Yeah, but I bounced around a lot. Let's see, the company I was with the longest was... probably Burling's Mercenaries, the last one I joined. But then we clashed with Gerald's band, and I was the only one who survived.
There isn't a mercenary who hasn't lost someone or something along the way. The losing trusted comrades stays with you.
Yeah, Captain Burling, Getz, Lasley. We were a tight-knit group, if a little rough around the edges. I would have been content staying with them till the end.
Maybe your experience is what's made you so pragmatic. It takes real strength to overcome past hardships and move on. That's what I think, anyway.
You know, you seem way more pragmatic than me. I wonder what made you that way.
You should know not to pry into a mercenary's past. But if the right moment comes, maybe I'll tell you about it.
Oh, hey, Ignatz. What you reading?
Wow.
Yeah, he definitely didn't hear me. Hey, Ignatz!
Ah, what? Oh, it's you. Can you please try to not sneak up on me like that?
Sorry about that. I was trying to talk to you, but it didn't seem like anything was getting through. You were making all kinds of weird noises while you were reading. You eat something bad?
No, nothing like that. It's just that this traveler's journal is full of such vivid imagery and wonderful surprises that I can't help but react.
You've seriously been lugging books around with you? Though, I admit, that does sound like a good one.
Yes, it's fascinating. The author's unknown, but whoever it was really traveled to all these places and documented everything. It's amazing how vastly things can differ depending on where you are, like the plants or the animals or even the ore in the ground. And of course, the way people live in those areas is so diverse too, like their food and their clothes. But what's most interesting to me is the architecture. Ruins in Fodlan contain ancient architectural styles that are, for some reason, also found on faraway islands.
All right, I get the picture. You talk like you've seen it all firsthand.
Well, I really try to place myself in the author's shoes when I read. So I guess in a way, I have. I'd love to visit all those places myself, but that's easier said than done. Especially since I became a knight.
The way you say that makes me think you never wanted to be a knight in the first place.
Oh, no! No, of course I did. At any rate, both my father and my brother are pleased that it's official.
Sounds to me like you became a knight for them.
That's not it at all. I'm very happy with my decision, honest.
Even though you can't go off traveling?
Yeah, getting sent out to different locations for battle is kind of the same thing. Oh, but of course the mission always comes first. It's not like I go off wandering whenever I feel the urge.
Uh-huh. But you would if you could, right?
Why do you keep asking me about this? All these leading questions, they're uncalled for. I might not be able to travel of my own volition, but I can read books and go wherever I want in my imagination. And that's good enough for me.
Hey, I was wondering if I could ask you something. I heard that you don't have any parents. Is that right?
Yeah. The woman who raised me died, and I don't even know who my birth parents are.
That must be tough for you, huh?
I don't really feel sad about it or anything, but I do think about my birth parents sometimes. It can weigh on me, not knowing who I really am, you know?
Well, you might not know who you are, but you still work hard and you keep your chin up through it all. That makes you super strong in my book.
Hey, Raphael. Your parents are gone too, right?
Yeah, both my mom and pa died in an accident.
Well, then you're just as strong as I am. You work harder than anyone I know, and you do it all with the biggest grin in the world.
Of course! It's easy when you love training as much as I do. Hey, I just realized something. We've sure got a lot in common. Our parents aren't with us anymore. We're both commoners scraping our way through this war, and most importantly...
What can be more important than that?
both of us have got some serious brawn!
I appreciate that, but our body types are completely different. Not sure this really counts as brawn.
Sure, you're a little scrawnier than me, and maybe a lot smarter. But you know, my brain's been getting a constant workout ever since we opened the inn.
You have an inn?
Oh, yeah. I went home and started one up with my grandpa and little sis once the academy shut down. Running a business like that takes a surprising amount of muscle. Sure, there's regular stuff like hauling things around, but you need brain power too. If you ever want to make a profit, you have to pay real close attention to keeping the books straight. I mostly let my sis handle that stuff though. That muscle still needs more work for me. Which means I'm in charge of the cooking. But that has its own share of problems.
Yeah, it can be tough to find your footing when you switch jobs, especially if you have to start doing things outside your wheelhouse. Trust me, I've had my fair share of growing pains getting used to the army life. Everything's way different from how it worked with my merc groups.
But don't you just fight? That doesn't seem so different to me.
As a mercenary, the only thing you're responsible for is yourself. Show up and do the job right, and you'll get your pay. but having soldiers to command, people I'm in charge of beyond just myself, that's a huge change for me. And there's way more to military work than just plain combat. Stuff like managing resources, making sure everyone has the weapons and armor they need. I don't think I'm bad at math per se, but it's definitely not something I'm used to doing. And the more stuff there is to keep track of, the harder it all gets.
Hey, you're not so good at using your brain either. We're practically twins. That makes us pals now, right? I've got your back, so you just keep on working hard, buddy.
Right back at you. Let's keep fighting the good fight.
Yeah! Ha!
Hmm?
Phew, what a workout. Oh, hey, are you here to train too?
Nah, just grabbing something I forgot earlier. Is this normal training time for you, Leonie?
Well, yeah. We've been so busy lately, I've had to squeeze it in whenever I can.
Huh. You work hard for a mercenary.
I'm just starting out in my career, so I can't afford to slack off now. I only started training as a merc after the Officers Academy closed, remember? Meanwhile, you were one before you even came to the Academy. You've got years of experience on me.
Still, you're skilled and you've got brains, which means you're more promising than the average rookie.
I hope you're right. I have to distinguish myself at some point, or else I won't be able to face the captain.
You have a captain?
Yep. He visited my village when I was a kid, and I practically begged him to make me his apprentice. I was probably a huge nuisance, but I was so desperate to get out of my village and be independent. Gerald treated me like an annoying little brat at first, but eventually, he taught me for real. He showed me everything. Tricks of the trade, standard training routines, basic strategy. Don't you have a mentor? Someone who showed you the ropes?
A mentor? I do have a mentor, in a sense. You know, someone who occasionally gives me advice and stuff.
That sounds sort of vague, but I guess there can be all kinds of mentors. Either way, you still have loads more experience than me. I need to work hard so I can catch up with you.
Well, if you ever want help from an old pro, just say the word.
Thanks. I'm glad to have a role model I can count on.
Whew, glad that's finally over.
Oh, hey! Nice job out there.
You too, Hilda. Good to see you back safe and sound. That was one close fight, huh?
You think so? I didn't even break a sweat.
Really? Well, I guess we did have the upper hand for most of it.
We sure did. And yet you still charged headfirst into the most contested part of the battlefield. You know, that's why you end up feeling like every battle is some huge ordeal. It's so unnecessary.
Whoa, hey now. Unnecessary? That's a little harsh. Someone has to get in there and turn the battle in our favor, even if it's dangerous.
I know, but why do you always have to be that someone? Living fast and loose is only gonna land you in an early grave.
Well, it's not like I'm trying to live like anything. This is just how mercenaries are. You can't distinguish yourself by hanging around in the back, and if you don't stand out, you don't get paid. People notice you if you do something showy on the front lines, and that can bring in the next job, you know?
You're basically commanding an entire army now? What does recognition matter at this point?
You're probably right. I guess I've just gotten so used to fighting like that, it's hard to change. Aren't there a bunch of mercenaries in Goneril territory? Pretty sure I've heard of a merc company stationed at the throat.
Yeah, we use mercenaries a lot when we're beating back the Almiran army.
Then I'm sure they're the same as me. Haven't you seen them going all hog wild, competing with each other up at the front?
I've never really fought with them, but I can imagine that they're way different from regular knights. My brother is always going on about how some guy from some mercenary company or other died fighting at his side.
No surprise there. The more a merc makes a show of themselves, the easier it is for the enemy to spot them.
Right? And that's exactly why I'm worried about you. You don't have to stress about grabbing attention and getting paid anymore. So just take it easy, okay? We don't want you dying before your time.
Yeah, okay. I'll keep that in mind. It's not like I have a death wish or something. I can't really change my fighting style overnight, but I'll try to keep the recklessness to a minimum. Don't worry. You know, I've never seen a noble worry so much about a mercenary. You just sit back and enjoy the show, all right?
Enjoy the show? Yeah, that sort of talk is so not making me feel any better.
Hey, Marianne, you were really doing great during those drills today.
Oh,
I'm heading over to the mess hall. You want to join? After all that training this morning and no break, I'm starving. Oh, sorry, I forgot. You like to eat alone, right? Then don't worry about it. I'll find someone else.
no, I'd like to accompany you. If you would have me, that is.
You sure? Well, all right then, let's go. I wonder what's on the menu today. Oh man, that was good. I feel alive again.
Yes, that was nice.
By the way, why do you decide to come along with me?
What do you mean?
You usually sit by yourself. I thought you didn't like eating with others. Sometimes I see you eating with Hilda, but I figured that's because she makes you do it, right?
Yes, I do feel more comfortable when I'm alone. I haven't been around people much, so I don't normally know what to say in conversations.
Well, now I'm even more curious why you decided to eat with me.
Well, you have a strange power, right? It makes you transform, or something like that.
Yeah. You curious about it?
It's not so much that. I, wondered if you despised having it.
It does bother me, but I can't really put my finger on why. I know it makes people suspicious of me and curious about my background, but that's just how people are.
And yet you always have such a sunny disposition, and everyone here respects you. I wondered why that was.
I mean, I sure hope they respect me. So that's why you wanted to join me?
I wanted to know how I could be like you.
Like me? But, Marianne, it's not like you have some mysterious power tucked away, right?
No, I don't.
If you just want to make friends with people, then you don't need to think so hard about it. It's not like anyone here hates you.
Don't they? I'm so useless.
Hey, you're a huge help to all of us. I mean that. So, you don't have to force yourself to act like someone you're not, okay?
All right. Thank you for saying that.